Oh, I forgot to say that. Yeah, it's June 17th. This is Donna talking. You know what, Grandma Wood? We finished first grade. Now I'm seventh grade, second. And we like it. We're on set still. We just started today. But we lost some books. And that was a terrible thing. But you know how things are. And Grandma, you know what? I think Della, my mom, and my daddy are making a skyscraper out of bricks. They're American bricks. My mom bought them in Lima, in the States. Excuse me what I said. In the States. And they're pretty nice. The skyscraper's almost done, but I can talk, you know how we should do it. We, had lots of fun in school these days. And if you can send us a tape, tell us how hot it is, because we like to know. Because it's pretty sunny here, and I wonder if you have rain in your land, but I don't know. And there was a fiesta one time here, and if you just could come down. And there's little things like little soaps, and they cost one penny. Or 2 pennies, or something like that. But they were little. Just enough came. It was so beautiful. And there's a treasurer's wife that's going to live in Juliaca. She came with us, and that was named the president's wife, the Sabbath school. Sabbath school secretary wife, and it was so beautiful. And Uncle Brandon Louie had to stay with us one Sabbath one time, and we had so much fun. One week. And it was so nice. I think that if you would have been here, you could have seen how fun we have in here. And today we started the second arithmetic book. And we like it. But, you know, every person is happy. But sometimes you can't, you know, do everything that you can do. And you know what? We're learning sense. And it's pretty nice to learn it, because you know how nice it is. You know what? I had some money one time. No, my daddy gave me some money. And you know what I bought from my mama? At that place one time I went with my daddy, and I bought her, my mama, a flower pot. That cost, I don't remember how much money, because it was just a year ago or 2 years. But visitors we had to Moquegua, the way to Moquegua. And so, but it was nice because I like to study nature because there's lots of kinds of animals here. We have frogs in our depository. Toads, yeah. And there's a big one, a big white one with black spots. We call that a grandfather toad. You know what? We will graduate in the church 13 Sabbath to primary. And the secretary of Sabbath school, he ordered diplomas. I don't know what, but they were going to graduate very, like they can have a program. I know there's 5 children that are going to graduate. We are 2. And one of our friends will graduate to cradle roll. From cradle roll. And I think Della's gaining so much, but I'll give her a turn. But I'll talk again, because there's a radio of the missions that my daddy went to see. He's hearing what the men say, no? So he'll be the last one of all the ladies. So I'm going to ask Della to come. I'm Della. I like to, I wish I could see you, but my mom and me are almost finished with the skyscraper. So my mother told Donna she couldn't take a very long time now, because I told Donna she could be first. So, well, a brick's almost using up, but we can use other bricks. But we all are happy. I want to see you. And if the dress are too little when you come, when we come, well, we're going to have to sew the hem up after, because we'll be too big, maybe. But I hope we are, because we need more dresses. We don't even have one skirt yet. So we need more dresses if we can have more dresses. Well, it's a fun time down here. We have lots of friends. One friend that we have is named Flower. But in Spanish, I think you know what her name is. But if you don't know Spanish, well, I didn't know if you know Spanish, but you can hear the tape when you want to know it. But I know something that we can do sometime. We all, Donna wants to tell me something. Oh. My sister said that we have to sing a song, but in a few minutes I will. I'll tell you what song you're going to sing. You're going to sing I'll Be Happy. So be happy because that's too complicated. So we'll sing a different song. Okay, we'll sing. Infancia, Salvasi. Okay? That's in Spanish. Infancia, Salvasi. Infancia, Salvasi. Infancia, Salvasi. Muy quietito. Now, I don't know if that's all, but Donna's gonna... Yes, it is. But we're not gonna sing anymore because we don't have enough time. But I can talk a little bit more. That's the thing, because I didn't talk very much, you know. We're on the last book of school. We already finished the test books, arithmetic books, and Bible, reading book, and so we're all glad. In science, well, you know the books we had in school. We all finished. At school we finished. Well, we finished everything. Uncle Dudley came, but we had fun with him. He made us a toy box, and he made us a thing to put our records in. Records. And so we're all glad. Goodbye, but I want to tell you something before I talk, before I leave the scene. You know, we want you to know we're gonna try to send you a letter someday, but we can't right now because it's Friday. My mom's gonna talk.
Hello, how is everybody in the great state of Florida? Yesterday, when the girls made the tape up to this point, I was up listening to the shortwave radio to find out who all the new officers for the General Conference. But I guess they only named one as far as yesterday. That was Elder Pearson as president of the General Conference. And I think everybody down here was quite happy that they at least made a start towards changing some of the people up there. Not that they haven't done a good job, but they're getting a little bit ancient, some of them. I was trying to go up just now to get the latest news, but the gate to get in is locked, and the family that has the key is not here, so I guess I'll have to wait a while. In the meantime, I can talk to you a little while. I've been home, not quite a bit, but more than usual the last month. I just went off for 2 weekends, well, 2 long weekends, starting Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sabbath. And now tonight, I'm leaving again. I'll be gone until this is Sabbath, and I'll be gone until Thursday, I think. Going back down to Lima to do the checks on my kidneys again to make sure that they're still okay. I feel real good. Weight's holding up. I'm still 175 pounds, which is about 12 or 13 pounds better than when I started my kidney problem. So I imagine everything's going to turn out okay on the test, but just to make sure, they think every 3 months I should have them checked. So since the doctor seems to have taken care of me so far so good, I'm inclined to follow his instructions. as the girls told you, they just finished first grade and quite proud of themselves. Of course, down here they don't have a graduation service, so they can't really appreciate what it is to graduate yet. And they're starting on second grade already, so that by, about October, they'll be all through with the first semester. And then they're going to learn in November from their music books, so that when they get to Florida, they'll be all ready to take music lessons from Grandma. Isn't that right? So the plan will probably be, although we haven't decided exactly yet, but Roz will probably go home a little after the middle of December, go all the way up to Massachusetts, and spend Christmas with her folks, and then come down to Florida in the end of January, at which time I should be coming home. And then we'll spend the second semester in Florida. And from then on, we're not sure just what we'll do. It depends upon how long a furlough we have. They seem to be debating as to whether we'll have 6 or 8 or 9 months. But I think we'll end up with 8 months, which means we would have to go home come back here again, I should say, about the 1st of October. But in the summer months, we want to take a trip out west, so Roz and the twins can see a lot of the things, and I can see some things too, and end up in Massachusetts for a while before we have to come back. That way we'll have had a chance to see just about everybody, I guess. Just this last weekend, there was a family here, Dr. Almondson, begins with an A, from Charlotte, North Carolina, who is somewhat acquainted with the McGees, or McKees, or whatever, McGee, I guess it is. Although he doesn't know Janet at all. He's not an Adventist, although he apparently was one, or in any case, he has a considerable knowledge of Adventism. His sister is the wife of a doctor down here. So they were very nice. He is gone with his family now. But they said when we come back to stay, be sure and spend time at their house. So I told you, never know, if the wedding next year is in Charlotte, I just might be there. That's like getting in with people, you know. But actually, we're very glad to have most of the company that comes down here. Sometimes it comes in rushes so great that it kind of overwhelms us, but ordinarily it's nice to have somebody different here, somebody to talk to, and see that's different from ourselves. I suppose that you people are going to be quite surprised at how big the girls have grown. There, I forget just how tall they are. 48 inches tall, I think now, aren't you? No? Let's see, I'm going to go look. No, we just checked on their growth chart, and they're 48 inches tall. I'm thinking they're getting pretty big. Yeah, looking forward to getting to all their grandma's houses and cleaning up, I think, is what they think is going to happen. Actually, they're not quite as poor as Della made out, and she didn't have any skirts. I don't know, maybe she doesn't have any skirts, but she's got lots of dresses yet. They're pretty nice. Lots and lots of nice dresses to wear. But they'll always be willing to get a few more, I imagine. Roz is off this afternoon with the Dorcas ladies. They're visiting the pobres here. Those are the poor people. Giving them clothes and one thing and another. We got 100 bales of used clothes from the Dorcas societies in the States that were shipped down here that they have part of, that they're distributing here in Puna. Speaking of General Conference, we're all waiting on pins and needles yet to find out who is going to be the president of the South American Division and of the Inca Union, where we are. It's not certain that Brother Aiken, who is president of the division, will not come back, but we understand that when he left, he was given a going-away party and so forth, and that he definitely has had the intention of not coming back. But those things can all change. And then, of course, here in the Union, Pastor Chrisman, Donald Chrisman, is 100% certain that he's not coming back. He's sold everything. He went home to stay when he went. They have 4 boys that are all in academy. I guess one just graduated from academy, so he'll be in college. But anyhow, they're feeling the need of being closer to their family. But they no doubt will come back to the mission field if they're given a chance after their children get through their education. So, things can affect our little union down here by considerable in the next few days. Of course, by the time you get this tape, everybody will know who's who. Of course, the union president is not named by the General Conference. He's named by the division committee. At first, they have to elect a division committee up there, a new one, and then that committee will name the union president. And of course, when they start naming people, that always leaves openings in other places, and it starts a general change in all places. The nationwide guessing game to figure out just who it might be that goes into the new office. But like they say, that's usually the best way that your candidate will not win. Because it always seems like it's always some dark horse that comes through, except for, of course, Brother Pearson, I think, was fairly well conceded that he had as good a chance as anybody to win. Open the door. Open the door. Open the door. I don't know if you heard the music that just went by. I kept quiet for a minute and thought maybe you might be able to hear the little bamboo pipe band that went by. It's music that's interesting the first time you hear it, but after a while it drives you nuts. Well, anyhow, getting back to the elections, like they say, the best way to make sure somebody won't win is to have everybody talking about him. Except for the case of Brother Pearson, and who knows, maybe a good deal of the other people too. In any case, as far as the division here and the union are concerned, there's several candidates, you might say, people who may be put in. I don't know that any of them are especially anxious to be put in. But everybody's wondering just which one it will be, and of course this always happens to bring in the discussion of personalities and qualities and weaknesses and strong points and so on and so forth of all the best part of the work. It's okay to talk about these things, but talk about them in committee before they elect them, and not have everybody discussing them, because some people learn that so-and-so has a weakness they didn't know he had before. And they probably would have been just as well off not knowing it. So far, the work here in our mission is going fairly good this year. At the end of the first quarter, our mission had more baptisms for 1966 than any other mission in the South American Division. We had 338 baptisms, whereas the closest other one was 318. But from us and the other one that had 318 down to the next one was quite a drop, but most of them had less than 100 for the first quarter. The first quarter is usually a fairly low quarter. Of course, we probably won't hold the lead for the whole year. It'd be nice if we could. We're certainly going to try, but we're not out to set too many records either. Tithes are continuing to come in better than ever. Every year the tithe seems to increase. This year everybody said they were going to go down because up here in the Altiplano they had no rain during the rainy season, and then they had an early freeze, so that the potatoes and the barley and the quinoa and everything else that they grow here all were frozen. They did get a little potato, but their little potatoes are just a little bit bigger than marbles. And for that reason, everybody said the tithe was going to go down, but so far the tithe has shown a bigger increase even than last year. We hope it keeps up that way, and we certainly need it to keep up. I've been going around the mission telling the people that if it is true that we receive blessings for paying our tithes faithfully, that they have a good deal more reason to pay their tithe this year than last year. Some people tend to think that they have so little that they can't pay their tithes, but I tell them if they have so little, they need the blessings of God more than ever. So therefore they should pay tithes on what little they do have. And I don't know, it seems to have had some effect. At least, we hope so. Anyhow, like I say, up to the moment we're doing very well. I hope we can keep it up, or even do better yet. We have a new missionary that's going to come down here. Should be in Peru in the next week or two, a fellow by the name of William Jensen, who worked until last month in Alaska. I don't know if it's the same place where they're going to send Jimmy or not. His name is, I already told you his name, but the city is Saskatchewan. And he wrote and said that he had not heard that Jim was going up there, but he was interested to know that he was going up. He seems to be an older fellow. Well, I say older, I don't know just how old he is. Anyhow, his boys are 10 and 11 years old, which is unusual for a missionary coming down. Usually they just have very, very small children. Roz was feeling a little bit low, so she had her hemoglobin taken and found out she was down to about 9 grams, which is anemia even on the coast. Well, when you're up here, when your hemoglobin should be considerably higher than it is on the coast, you can see why she was feeling run down. But she has started taking the iron in very heavy quantities, and now is up to the place where she's about up to 12 grams already, and presumably her situation will be corrected very shortly. We hope so. H.O. Burton. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. did not affect the recording. H.O. just had to go to Lima for some tooth problems. I don't know, it seems like our teeth just fall apart up here. Some dentist told me there's a reason for it, but I don't remember just what it was. But he had to have surgery on 2 nerves of his teeth. So he's just not come back, still feeling somewhat under the weather and sorry for himself, which I don't blame him, actually. I probably would have done better if I felt sorrier for myself when I had my problems. But he also is improving. I don't know why it was, but several people around here all of a sudden got low hemoglobins. Like I say, I don't know why, but everybody seems to be pulling out of it with the iron shots. I really think this place up here is about good for a person for about 4 or 5 years maximum, and after that, I got no business coming back the second term. It's too much of a health strain. Or someday they're going to wise up and realize it'd be better if we all lived down in Arequipa, which actually I don't know if I ever told you about whatever happened on the move to Arequipa. We voted it in our committee unanimously to go down there to change the office to Arequipa, but this has to be approved by the union and division committees. Well, it happened the division committee came in the end of November last year before the union committee, so they took what you might call a straw vote because they had no reason to take a full vote. Well, it happens that 2 or 3 people who had lived up here before are on the division committee, and they fought to move something terrible. How was it possible that this could move and so forth? But the interesting thing was that the people who fought it had only been up here themselves about 2 years. They had not been here long enough to really feel the effects of the altitude after a longer period of time. Well, anyhow, there were others who felt quite strongly that it should be moved to Arequipa. And when the vote was taken, it was, I think 18 to 12 in favor of moving to Arequipa someday. Well, on the union committee, later when it was discussed, the vote came out just about the same ratio, with the same elements fighting. The ones who, nobody fights the idea of moving who stays up here for 4 or 5 years. It's only those who are only here for 2 or 3 years that fight it and have not come to recognize the problem yet. Well, anyhow, there were a majority on both the superior committees in favor, but the brethren from Chile, who for years have been asking to have a union in Chile made up of the missions in Chile, be taken out of the union that has its headquarters in Australia, finally won their point on the division committee. So they, to make this new union, the division that is, had to give the new union a considerable amount of money, which left nothing to give us to make our change. So we're here for another year or 2 anyhow. Well, I say the missionaries, I'm not going to be here for another year or 2. But I told one of the big chiefs in the division that I'd be happy to come back to Lake Titicaca Mission if they moved the office to Arequipa, but I was not going to hear of it if they left the office here in Puna. So he wrote back and told me that he appreciated my point of view, but mine better plan on living somewhere else next time. It probably would be at least 2 years before there'd be money. Another problem is that the division is now seriously considering moving to Lima, the division office, because of the poor economic situation in Uruguay. Well, for my money, they can stay in Uruguay or wherever they want to, because local mission can run a lot better the farther off the Union and division are. Like up here, we hardly ever have to worry about the Union butting their nose into things because they're 1,000 miles off in Lima. And the division even farther off. But the poor people down in the Central Mission, they have their office right down there in Lima. If somebody has a problem, they don't even bother going to the Central Mission where they should go. They just go straight to the administrators of the Union. So the administrators of the Central Mission end up as errand boys for the Union more than anything else. So how in the world will it be if the division's there, too?
We work very hard on the Sabbath. I need Sunday to rest, but I work awful hard on Sunday, too. In Dorcas, here in Puna this year, we're very active. First, we visited the Pobres, that's the poor folks, and invited, Dorcas Society has started a branch Sabbath school. We visited 3 families of poor and invited them to branch Sabbath school, and also told them we'd kind of help them out a little bit as far as clothes. We get quite a bit of clothes from the States, from the welfare service. And so far this quarter, we have distributed 600 and something pieces of clothes. And I don't know how many visits we've made, but in all our time here, I've never seen the Dorcas work like we have. We are working this year. I'm not the head of it. I'm the assistant. No, Delmer's secretary is the head. So between secretary and me, we jump all over Delmer. No, not really. Yes, really. But after visiting 3 families and checking in on the branch Sabbath school, what we try to do, like in the branch Sabbath school, is to have someone else, one of the other ladies, take over, so we could do the visiting. First, the director of Dorcas let out the adult section, and I let out the children's section. But now we have someone to teach in Quechua who's very enthusiastic, and that's much better to teach in Quechua. And I have a couple ladies very interested in teaching the children, so that leaves me Sabbath afternoon to visit the poor and the needy in the jail. So we went to see the jail. I'm on a commission that's supposed to set up a nursing station and medical reports on all the prisoners. And the chief jailer here is a old stick in the mud. And the head of the police force here is always trying to get us to do it. The thing is, he's trying to get us to do the work. We keep telling him, what's he expect? We're not doctors. We want to give all the prisoners physical examinations, because there's a lot of tuberculosis, and it's folks with tuberculosis that write in with the others and everything else. But the government pays a doctor, but the doctor doesn't go. And so they try to get another doctor, but as it turns out, there's no doctor around that wants to do it, even though it would pay, because the doctors here in Puna are all very, very busy. So we have mimeographed off forms for their examinations, and we're making arrangements for the mobile chest x-ray thing to come to the jail in a few weeks. But we still can't give physical examinations, which the head jailer just can't understand. But when we first got there today, the policeman at the door wouldn't even let us in. He said, no women can go in here. Those women have been going in there for a long time, because we have a branch Sabbath school. Not Dorcas, but the Puna Church has a branch Sabbath school in the jail. But every so often the chief jailer gets crotchety, and so we have to go and get extra papers and stuff to permit us to go in. But today he seemed a little better, so he's very sarcastic. We getting off, so it's very interesting to see the jail here in Puna. I ought to explain what this jail is. It's not a jail where they throw drunks. It's like a penitentiary for the Department of Puna. It has the murderers and the long-termers. Now, there's a women's section and men, but out of almost 300 people, there's only about 10 women, all the rest are men, and they're in various sections. But it's all, the floor of it is just mud. And it's all open, and they have little shacks like that they sleep in, and each person cooks for themselves, though they're supposed to be setting up a dining room where the women will do the cooking for the whole jail, but like anything else, it takes time to get it going. But they live under horrible circumstances in the jail, but like others have mentioned, when they're out, they live under pretty horrible circumstances too. Well, so much for that. Tomorrow is Dorcas, and we really are working hard here in Dorcas. Besides all the visitors we make, we've been trying to get everybody to come to Dorcas, and our attendance has at least doubled in 1966, which is very encouraging to us. And the lady that makes things out of alpaca fur has little pieces left over, and she gave us 2 or 3, I don't remember which, 100-pound sacks, so they don't weigh 100 pounds, but that size sack of little pieces of alpaca. And one of the things we've done is make a mattress, and we make that in Dorcas, because many of the people here that are poor don't have any mattress to sleep on. They just sleep on the floor, on rags, or in a sheepskin or something like this. And we make it, and we've offered that if anybody wants to buy the material, the outside, the cotton, we'll make another one for them. It costs 15 soles a bada, and it takes 5 badas to make a mattress. So a mattress costs 15 times 5, 70 soles. Little, 75. A little, around $3. And that doesn't include the inside stuff, because Dorcas has the stuff to put inside. And see, we make these things all together so that they can learn how to do it for themselves. And we also will, if they want to make it in Dorcas, we'll all work together and make it. Now we're going to teach them how to make quilts out of little out of cloth, small pieces of cloth. They're all very interested in this. But then after practically every Dorcas, I have my consultos. That's what a doctor has. What do you call it? I don't know. I don't know. Whatever you call a consulto. That's when people come and ask you about their medical conditions. Well, in the same house where we have Dorcas, there's one room that has the medicines for the rolling clinic, and everybody comes and tells me their problems and their things, and then I prescribe. Just call me doctor. This is quite all right here. The folks they have for the rolling clinic have a lot less education than I do. They do a lot more prescribing. So. Well, it's all right in Peru. Everything goes. But I really enjoy it. Working with the Dorcas like this. It's much like my public health nursing was in the States, which I enjoyed a great deal. I can't think of anything very new and startling to tell you, so I guess I'll let Delmer finish up the tape.
I had a cough, and I'm Della. But now I'm all well, so I'm glad. But my mama had a mistake. She said that Delmer was going to talk, but I'm going to talk. So, we had a lot of fun at the piano very much, but we can't do it right now because Mama said when we were in 2nd grade, we can start piano lessons. But so we're gonna be ready when we go to the States. But I think we already made a skyscraper out of bricks, but it's all put together. But that's why my sister Donna is in Social de Jóvenes. And so that's Sociedad de Jóvenes. MV, that is. But I think the good MV. But it seems like she's going to get done in a few minutes because the Sabbath is almost done. So she's with Lucho. That's Louis in English. But Lucho is the president's boy. And the lady just came to the house, and the boy too, and we made the skyscraper with the boy, so that's why it's all finished. If he hadn't helped us, it wouldn't be finished right now, but he did, so it's going to be finished. But I don't know what we can do, but it's a nice thing. Mama's going to talk. No, she isn't. No, she isn't, but I need to tell you some more things that I need to tell my mama send them first. So, we already know that. We already finished the thing. Grandma Wood, we know how to read the thing, the writing that you gave us on our kitty blanket, they say, sleepyhead. And so, this is our favorite blanket. We don't sleep with our rest of the blankets. We like this blanket more than any blanket, it seems like. But we do. So, I think my dad is going down to get the mail, but he's going to take his tape to Arequipa with, so we won't be able to talk tomorrow. So we want to talk all we can right now because my daddy is going to talk the rest while he's in Arequipa. So that's why I got another ton. But the second grade is real fun. We're going to get a rabbit. And so we're going to have 2 pets. And Burden's rabbits are white and brown. One is named Susie and one is named Snowball. But Susie is Louis, but he calls her Susie, but he always says grayish gold, grayish gold. So we confuse with the names. This is grayish gold or brown. No, Susie, yeah. But we forget him real fast because we don't live up there. Excuse me. They got the rabbit from a Pisco man, and he was owning he had a farm of rabbits, and so he's going to give us one, but when we go to the States, we're going to have to give it away before it dies on the airplane, because that can happen sometimes, all the time. Yes. And so, like my daddy said, that we wouldn't be so like that. I told you, I think before, that we didn't have any skirts. But my mom promised us that we would have a skirt, but she doesn't have to. She's too busy, so we don't have to worry about that now. She got us a new nightgown, but I'm going to tell you something. We got half of the hats to graduate in 13 Sabbath. We got them finished. Almost finished. And so we chose our material for the nightgowns, and Mama couldn't finish mine in one day, but my sister, she could. Mine is longer, my sister's. Mine has sections of Easter chickies, canaries, of Easter eggs. And one is real lazy because he doesn't want to come out, it seems like. Some eggs on my nightgown are not broken yet. And Donna's has flowers. But I want to tell you something. The missions radio, we almost couldn't hear anything. I still can remember the musical things, T's. Because you thought Mary had a little lamb with it. So, because Brenda told me it. And so, I know how to play it. So I'll be an expert on that when I get to the States. But I think I'll forget it by the time I get to the States, because I'll be on an airplane. It makes you forget, no? But maybe I won't. I don't know. My mama just came from the jail and we just finished the skyscrapers. Grandma, you know, if we're too big when we get to the States for our dresses, oh well, we will feel real sad because you will too, maybe, because my mama says maybe, what you call it, when we get to the States, our grandmas will, you know, give us presents, but we shouldn't be too rich. That's the thing. We're all spoiled, it seems like. Our grandmas are spoiling us, it seems like. But that's the thing. When I got up to Burden's house, my dad was listening to the missions radio. I was fleeing down the stairs, so that was fun. But I didn't know that very much about that. You know what? I'm in Puna, and I'm Donna. You know what? Della just forgot to say something that I told her to say. Because I needed to tell her that, that to say that we should, say flowery for my nightgown, Donna's nightgown, and Della's is Easter eggy. And my mom wants to talk a little while, but I'm going to talk after for a while or two.
Just thought you'd be interested. I just sent the 6 weeks test, the last 6 weeks, to the States. We just got back the fourth period test. It takes quite a while to get them back and forth, and just for your interest, I'll read you their grades. Reading, this is Della first. Della, reading, A. Arithmetic, A minus. Bible, A. Science, A minus. Why A minus? Well, they did everything perfect in Bible. Oh, you didn't know one of the teachers of the year. Social studies, A minus. Handwriting, B. Oh, that's very good. They don't always do that well. Donna, this is fourth period reading test, A minus. Arithmetic, B plus. Science, A minus. Bible, A. Writing, A minus. Social studies, A. So they did all right. Okay, here's Donita.
Well, I think we did very good on how do you call it? Bible. We don't get lots of B pluses, but we get lots of A minuses and A's and B plus. 'Cause, you see, we like that. But, you see, like always, we have to do a test. I wonder if the other time, if when we get out of the test, if it's good. My mama said that when they said that test that we just sent to review, because we're in second grade already, in the last 6 weeks, I think we can get everything right, because B plus or A minus or A. Because my mama said that we did so far very well. And I wonder what they'll say in the States. That's just so hard. First I do my test, and then I'll stay out there for almost I have to stay out there for almost a long time, because Della takes a long time on her test. And did you hear that part that says that I went to the way to Moquegua? Well, Della did the test first. And we like the test how do you call it? Clocks. Like we know how to tell 6 minutes past 3 and everything. And like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and all that. Because that's easy. And we didn't finish all our arithmetic books. How do you call it? Because before, because test came, and we had to do them. So we just had to, my mom said it's all right, because just 3 pages they would just do. Review. And we knew it already. So my mom didn't take it. How do you call it? I took Della one test, one of those, because she got almost everything right. I had to look in my mama's book. And I found good answers, and I had to put correct marks and everything. So, I throw the paper away. I know what 10 plus 1 is 11. until I can't remember, but I think it's 20. All the equations to 0 to 20, and we know how to count 0, 10, 20, 30, 40. You know, that's easy. In 2, 4, 6. 9, 8, 10, you know, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. We know until 90, because we don't know 200. We don't know more than 200, because you see at the very high 100. Della, Della has a book of writing to, you know, like one, we should draw a line from 1 to 2, you know, that book, dot to dot book. And Della couldn't figure out what was 100, 101, 102, 103. She couldn't figure out anything. And we have I wish that we could send you a letter, but there wasn't any time. Never, because we don't have any time to, you know, have any, because we have to do everything. I think in second grade is I don't know how much books we have to do in every day. Books in every day of first grade, 6 or 7. My mother says. I couldn't remember because there are so many. Or 8 or 9. I don't remember. You could remember because or maybe so, or maybe not. Maybe you could, because you've been in second grade, and I haven't. We just started. We already started, you know. And we, on the first page of, you know, set, we put, there was bikes, hammers, saws, nails, girls, numbers, windows, doors, and you know, I like sets better than adding and subtracting. My daddy just said that I got A minus and Della got A. Because I don't remember very good, you know, but I know that pretty nice here. I was in the church with the Alliance. Della, I don't know how much words she talked. I don't know when she started. But I think Della told you about the nightgowns, didn't she? Oh, she said yes, but I need to correct something she said. Della said that my nightgown was, how do you call it, flowers, but it's truly, how do you call it, flowers, roses, yeah, roses. I wanted Della to tell what the name was, the flower and the rose, but, how do you call it, I think that, how do you call it, read my writing book, my writing book, Della, bring it, how do you call it? Nice, big. We like the pretty writing books that there is for second grade. And I wanted to read you something that I had in my writing book and nobody wants to get it from me. So I think I'll quit a little while to take it. No, bring it, okay? Oh, okay. Excuse me. Okay, I'm gonna read it to you. Look at our God. Dick and Donna. Yes, no. Wesley. Jesus knows the Bible. Sally was you. Sally was happy, yeah. And I have another one that almost is the same as we, but it says, Ted is as tall as Tom. In Della's reading book, I don't know who said this, but it was pretty. And I remember one of them that's in there that says, Mother, is my earth clean? And, how do you call it? I think Sunday tomorrow. Sunday is tomorrow, because today is Sabbath, so sorry, that's it. Right now, it's Sabbath. And tomorrow's going to be Sunday, as you know. How do you call it? That thing, I can't remember what, but we lost some books. Della and my mom made a skyscraper with, I don't know, all our bricks that we have. All of them, yeah. But not with any windows, just the glass ones. There's a thing at the top of the roof like a bath. And the other one is a secret place that my daddy told us how to make sometimes. So, I think we'll talk after, but I don't think of anything more I'm going to say. Oh yeah, I need to say something else that I forgot to tell. That we have 3 books that we had for our birthday, and how do you call it? The bricks. I don't know where, but I can't remember where they all put them. You know. Della tells me that Mama wants us to sing a song. So I'm going to have to sing what kind of song. Oh yeah, I know. We're going to sing Sabbath is a happy day. All the, parts. Della's going to sing it all by herself. I'm going to sing the next part. First we go to Sabbath school, Sabbath school, Sabbath school. First we go to Sabbath school. I love every Sabbath. Della's going to sing the third one. Then we like to I'm going to sing the next one, and Dale's going to sing the last one. Then we go to see the flowers. Nature butterfly, butterfly. Then we go to see the butterflies. I love every feather. Then we like to take a walk, take a walk, take a walk. Then we like to take a walk. I love every feather. That's all I want to say for this moment.
Well, I hope you haven't minded the twins filling up the rest of the tape. They're quite anxious to talk to Grandma always, and Daddy's been quite busy getting his bags packed so he can go on the train tonight. Hope everything's fine. Maybe somebody will be coming through Orlando from GC, coming back here. You can send us another tape too. We're going to send this to the States with Dr. Amundsen, who will be returning in a few more days. And you should have it within another week or so after we finish it. Everybody sends their love. Everybody up there, hope everybody's fine.
Well, I'm going to finish up the tape talking. So, I like to know something. Well, my sister says that we have to do it again, but we not. Because I can see what I want to do, and the rest